Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to today's lesson on exercise and illness. Now my most hated sentence is, I'll just sweat it out. Oh, if you say that to me when you're poorly, I have to breathe really hard, count to 10 and calm down. Now, why? So, let me put this to bed. Exercising when ill is a bad idea. Now the reason why we do this is because we get addicted to the chemicals and the hormones that exercise produces, those happy hormony feels. And it's lush, but you get addicted to it, which means you want it regardless of the situation, so you just go out and do stupid things. Now then, when you get poorly, whether that's an infection, whether that's a cold or a flu or a cough, a sneezing fit or something like that, your body then goes into protect, repair mode. Now internally, our body is basically fighting a war, alright? And it takes a lot of energy to do that. Not only has it got to do that, it's also got to think about digestion of food, pumping your blood around your body, getting the right chemicals to the body to produce cells and things like this, and so on and so on and so on. Your body is doing a gazillion things all at once. So when you get an infection, you get a cold or whatever, that's why you feel run down and slow, because your body's slowing you down to help fight that infection. Okay, now then, when you go and move, your muscles take precedent over everything because, oh my god, I've got to move. The brain is thinking, well, I've got to move my arms, I've got to move my legs, I've now definitely got to pump my heart and blood a lot more. So it neglects the cold, the virus, the bug. I always explain it like this, and this is how I work, but would you leave your teenager at home for a weekend while you go on holiday? Bit debatable, isn't it? Think about all the house parties you see on American films. That's your body. That's what's happening inside your body when you go and do the exercise. You basically leave your teenage child at home with social media going, oh yeah, let's have a few friends around. And before you know it, the house is trashed. So when you go and exercise, your virus is having a house party. It's inviting its friends. They're inviting their friends. And before you know it, boom, trashed. So because your body has having to take precedent over the movement patterns that you're creating when exercise, it has to neglect that and let that just grow and fester. The virus looks up and goes, hoo-hoo, party! And it destroys and it ravishes. Why? Because you've got more blood. It can jump into your cells quicker and fly around the body quicker. You are literally giving it a free hall pass to go and wreck the joint. Yeah? So, hopefully that makes you understand. Now then, things to do when you are poorly. Of course, this is going to depend on lots of different things, i.e. what you're doing, what have you got, etc, etc. But think about something I've just said. Your body has to fight that infection, so it needs fuel. Most infections make you suppress your appetite and things like that, but it is seriously important to eat. So your brain's clever, but it's also very stupid. So it kind of switches off the signals to the digestive system because that takes effort. Oh, you think about the digestion of a steak or something, it requires effort. So you tend to not want to eat much. So the best thing you can do is go to a liquid diet just for this time of while you're ill. Soups, smoothies, even slim fast if you have to, protein shakes and things like that. Tend to not use lactose though, so try and avoid dairy, like milk and things like that, try and avoid that. But I usually go for an oat-based smoothie. So I put some oats in, I get a non-milk alternative, so almond milk, chuck that in, maybe some peanut butter, some blueberries, a banana, maybe a bit of coffee, then I would chuck in maybe a bit of cinnamon, things like that, and I'd whiz that into an inch of its life and down it goes. The reason why that works, and liquid kind of works, is because you haven't really got to do a lot with the digestive system. So you're giving yourself calories and energy for the virus to be fought. Yeah? More soldiers on the front line for the war, shall we say. So that's what I would say the first thing to do. The next thing to do is to drink plenty of water. Your body needs water, it needs to hydrate. Water is the single most important thing after oxygen. But again, you tend to try and not want water, so whatever strategy you can, get water down your neck. Now hot water is really good, so maybe warm it up in the kettle, pour it in, maybe let it just sit for a few minutes and gently sip that down. The body loves nice hot water. So however you do that. Soups are a great one because you're using stock, so it's got quite a bit of water in it as well. So maybe make yourself some soup, or obviously find a water-based soup from the shelf or whatever, and do that. But that's really good. And then the final thing that I would say is vitamin D. Vitamin D, ladies and gents, is one of the most important vitamins, and one of its roles is to help your immune system. So if you're giving yourself lots of vitamin D, and C to be fair, but primarily vitamin D, it is going to help you no end. And then of course, just rest. Alright? Now then, let's say you've just started with a tickle. You've just started with a sneeze. The best thing you can do, and I would have these already bought, ladies and gents, are these two beauties. First Defense by Vicks and echinacea. Okay, now this is high strength echinacea. I'm a big lad, so normal echinacea is not really going to do it, but max strength echinacea from Tesco's. Don't buy expensive stuff, but think of that. And that Vicks First Defense is a nasal spray. Right, the first sign of a sneeze, a cough, a scratchy throat, a bit run down, whatever sign you get, you take one echinacea with a meal, snort some Vicks Defense up your nose, either side, 2 or 3 sprays, bosh, do that all day. If it continues after 3 days, well, you've probably not hit it in time and you're probably going to suffer, so you then need to go and revert to your vitamin D and your food, your water and your rest, and no exercise. Alright? Now of course there could be hay fever, allergies, that sort of thing, but if you are not normally sneezing and you're not normally reacting to hay fever, or it's not hay fever season or whatever, then still apply. Have them in your store cupboard. Now this is sort of 30 tablets. I've had that weeks and weeks and weeks. What's that? 6 gone. Yeah, I've had those weeks, and they're going to last me for, well, 3 more years. Yeah. Okay. So get them from Tesco's. You've got 3 for 2 on things like multivitamins and things like that. So you can always go and get yourself something else as well. Maybe some vitamin D and some vitamin C. Okay, right. So if you're thinking to me, oh, but Simon, I'm going to lose all my gains. I'm going to gain my weight back on. Really? Really? By taking a few days off, you're really going to lose all that fitness? You're really going to put your pounds back on? No. Your body is going to enjoy the rest. We need rest. Not enough people rest and lower their activity levels. They go smash, 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 bull in a china shop and think they're going to do well. But if you just take 2 or 3 days off, make sure you're alright, you're going to enjoy that. But remember, you are addicted to those chemicals that are flying around. So yes, you might get a little bit moody, you might get a little bit cranky. But maybe do some stretches, maybe have some hot baths instead, maybe do something to stimulate you, so you've got some sort of comparison, so to speak, so you don't go stir crazy. But ladies and gents, reeling people in is one of the hardest things that I have to do, because you are addicted to those chemicals. So how do we create a healthier immune system so you don't get ill? So basically there's lots of things that you can do. You can create a very strong, healthy immune system. I'm around people all day long, every single day. I go into gyms, and of course I've got kids, and very rarely get ill. And that is part and parcel, yes, because I take these sort of things when I feel a sneeze or a cough coming along, but also I'm very religious with my vitamin D and my vitamin C, my water intake and my food intake, and I listen to my body. If I feel tired or I feel like there's something not quite right, then I don't go and smash it. I just go for a walk instead. Instead of hitting the weights, go for a walk, or vice versa, or whatever. I sleep really well, so I get a good night's sleep every night. I eat well, I drink well. If I, of course, have a pizza and that sort of thing, I've already had gallons of water by that point, and I've already ate pretty well most of the day and most of the week. So it's about that balance, but also that consistency of looking after your body. Health and fitness, ladies and gents, and fat loss is not just about smashing it. Do you take time to unwind? Do you take time to relax? If you're stressed and running it around at 90 miles an hour, then of course you are going to come crashing down at some point because you can't handle the intake of a foreign virus or bacteria or infection. But I do lots of things consistently. It's not just one thing. One thing I have found since I've been drinking whiskey at night, I have a little shot of whiskey every single night, I have found that I have less throat, nose, lips, mouth issues, so cold sores, tickly throats, that sort of thing. I have found that I've had nothing, but I do that every single day and have done now for nearly 3 years. Coincidence? Maybe not. Whiskey is a good antiseptic, should I say, right? But I don't expect people to go into that kind of length. But I do lots of little things consistently. If you have any more questions about this, ladies and gents, please do get in touch. There will be a link below as well to an article that I wrote, very similar to what I've just said here. So maybe have a read of that, and you can also share that amongst your friends and your colleagues and that sort of thing. But please, ladies and gents, do not sweat it out.